Alright, today we have the Toro Sidewinder in the shop. Now, I figured I would do this video because I did see some people talking on the forums about getting these blades off and are they reverse thread or are they not. Now, this my situation is my compressor is down in the shop and I only have a really tiny compressor here and it's not putting out enough PSI, pretty much so to speak, to get these blade bolts off. Now, they are, most of Toro is pretty much standard thread, so you're going to loosen them left, and so it'll be righty tighty, lefty loosey pretty much. They're not reverse thread. This machine in particular is what we're doing the video on, so this one definitely is not reverse thread. Now I'm having a hard time getting the bolts off, so I wanted to give you some options on what you can do, and pretty much just to be safe. Now I have this on a lift, so it's a little bit easier for me. But I see a lot of people talking about holding the blade with their foot or sticking a block of wood under there, which can work. Some people have propped the deck up with a jack stand and the blade will prop against the jack stand. That I used to do. I found that the best way. But what I'm doing pretty much is, if you look here, I put a C-clamp and it goes underneath here. Now I already have this blade off, but the C-clamp was pretty much holding the blade underneath here. Alright, and that was an easy, effective way so I could actually get two hands and both my feet on the ground rather than trying to hold a piece of wood up there and only using one hand or using my foot. So that this I found to be the most effective way. If you got a C-clamp or something like that, stick that on there. Now the first blade I was able to get off just by shooting PB Blaster on there. Now I only let it sit for about 20 minutes. Alright, you want to spray it on the top so it goes down onto the bolt, and you can spray the bolt head itself, but try to get it up under the blade and stuff where the threads actually are. If that doesn't work, or in conjunction with that, you want to make sure you have a drive on there that has a nice long handle, and in this case this handle wasn't long enough. So what you need to do is, I don't know if you can see this, but I got a really long pipe here. Alright, and you want to slide that over your ratchet drive. I'll show you. You're basically going to slide your ratchet drive in there like that, and now you have a lot more leverage to pull from. The problem with that is you got to keep this perfectly level on your bolt, because if you're a little bit sideways, it's going to keep popping off, or you're going to start stripping your bolt head out here. Now, this second deck, what I had to do, if you're still struggling after all this and you still can't break it off, this is the last resort to do, because I don't want to recommend it because it's involving using fire, but this is basically what I used. This propane torch. Now, this usually works 100% of the time when you use this, but a lot of people use it wrong. Okay, when you're trying to take a bolt off, you don't want to, let's see if I can show you this. Okay, you don't want to put the flame onto the bolt itself, because the heat is actually going to expand, right? And this is already tight, you're having a problem getting it off, so you don't want to expand the bolt. What you really want to heat up, let me get under here and show you. This blade's already off. Alright, you want to heat this part up. Now, here's what you got to be careful of. Alright, actually let me go back to where there's actually a blade. Okay, this one has a blade on it. Alright, so what I did is I put the heat all on this spindle right here, because this spindle is where the bolt is going into. So the spindle is what you want to expand with the heat in order to be able to get this out. Now here's why I don't recommend this on the video, and if you do this, use it at your own risk. I had soaked this with PB Blaster, okay? If you have any kind of solvents up here or anything, you got dry grass, using a flame, obviously it's flammable, you want to be careful. Alright, what I did, I had this soaking already in PB Blaster. The last one I took off, I sprayed it, not sprayed it, but I shot it with air out of my small compressor over there. I used air and I blew most of the PB Blaster off, and then I started applying my heat on here. The grass really didn't catch fire, but for sake of your safety in the video and my protection, I'm going to say use it at your own risk. But the heat always works for me. You could probably even skip the PB Blaster and just go right to the heat if you have a propane torch, or you want to pick one up from Napa. heat up your spindle here, and you're gonna need to heat it up because that's not a really powerful torch. I mean, I was here for a good 10 minutes just going back and forth heating this up. And then I put my socket on with the long leverage bar, and it took the bolt, it cracked it loose, and I was able to get it off. And that's what I'm about to do on this one. It's been soaking. I'm gonna blow it with some air, and we're gonna take this off. So that's a couple of options you have. Again, be careful, don't start any fires, always wear gloves, watch your knuckles. When you're pulling on something really, really tight like that and it slips, you can fall, bang your head, whatever, just be really careful. But you definitely should find something around your yard that you can use as a leverage bar, and if you can get a C-clamp to put it on your deck there to keep the blade from spinning, that's usually the most effective way that I found. Hopefully this tip helped somebody out there, and if it did, or even if it didn't, just hit subscribe below just for the effort I'm putting in every day doing these videos for everybody, and I really appreciate it. I still need to get my subscribers up a little bit more, so take 1 second, hit that subscribe button, give me a like, and I'll see you next time.